Back then, a lunch break meant inhaling a sandwich at my desk while answering emails.
Back in the day, I used to get up at 4 in the morning. Now I'm sleeping in till 6.
This is Jim. He still works hard, but only on things that don't make him want to fake a heart attack.
And this is Taff. She traded hustle culture for long lunches with margaritas. And together, we're Unretired AF.
Hello and welcome to today's show where we're going to be talking about what makes our lifestyle Unretired AF. But before we get started, we want to give a shout out to our subscribers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. And if you're new to our channel and you'd like to see our content in your feed every day, Monday through Friday, please hit that subscribe button. All right, on to today's show. The first thing we're going to talk about is redefining the workday.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that was probably the most significant Unretired AF thing that we did.
Right.
Because, the whole concept of being unretired is that we're still earning.
Right.
When you're retired, you're not earning anymore.
Right.
And that day will probably come for all of us.
Sure.
At some point. But right now, we're unretired. So what that means is we've redefined what that looks like. And before, Jim and I worked very long days, very stressful days. And now we found that it's easier for us if we work in sprints.
Yeah.
We get up in the morning, we may sit and talk to each other in the morning for an hour or two before we get our day started, which
Right.
we never did that before. We never even, we were like two ships in the night back then. And now we might do that. You come home for lunch.
Right.
And we'll have lunch at home now, which we never did before. No. So we're working in sprints that fit our life.
Yeah. And it's with us, it's much more flexible. Wouldn't you say that? We're much more flexible now than we were.
More flexible.
And we're trying to work smarter and not longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
We both have always been very hard workers.
Yeah.
But I think at times have been times for me, I know, where I felt like I had to get something out today where tomorrow would have been just as good as today.
Right.
So we're just trying to work smarter.
Right. Well, and saying no with confidence.
Yeah.
Before, we're in the service industry and we're self-employed. So when we would have a potential client call, we would take every client. We would take every job. We weren't picky. We were just hardworking. We have, Jim and I have, like a lot of you out there, we have a heart that wants to help people. And in our industry, that's something that is very needed. So we often found ourselves taking clients that maybe were difficult or jobs that were difficult for the amount of money we were earning, for the amount of time that they required. So, we found that was draining to us. We were working too much. We were doing jobs we didn't enjoy.
Right.
And we eventually both, I think, suffered from a period of burnout.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So now we're much more selective about our clientele.
Yeah.
We have both learned to say no.
Yes.
But we still have a very strong sense of pride for helping people.
Yes. And we do a good job for the clients we do take. But we definitely cherry pick. When that phone rings, I think we turn down more clients than we take.
Yeah.
And we're cherry picking. But we do have people we can field those potential clients too, so we're not just leaving them hanging out there. But we're definitely much more selective.
Yes, we are.
And if people are crazy, we're not taking them. We're passing them along, which we've had a few of those. So
yes, we have.
Well, time is currency, and we should be spending that currency intentionally.
Yes.
We don't measure success anymore by how much money we're making. I think that's kind of the measure of capitalism, in our country. That's, as for all the things we love about capitalism and about our country, I think sometimes people define themselves by how much money they make.
Yeah.
And that's not a very fulfilling task or a very fulfilling way, a benchmark for yourself. So now we're defining our success by our quality of life. how stressed or not stressed we are.
Right.
And we've discovered that taking naps during the day or running midday errands does not equal being lazy.
No.
But it just is, we equate that with the newfound freedom we have in our unretired life. And that was new because Jim and I, we worked when we were sick.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have anybody to cover for us in our respective businesses. We felt guilty about that.
I agree. And we both feel like we've earned the right to choose now how we spend our time to make our money. We know what we need to make. We know some projects pay better than others.
Right.
But the thing that is the biggest stress relief for me has been knowing when to say no.
Yeah.
And that's been real hard for me. Yeah. Really, really hard to do.
Yeah.
But I think both of us are getting a lot better at it.
Well, and one thing, I don't care who you are. I think that we've both recognized, I thought in my 50s that I would never start feeling older in my body. I thought, oh, it's just a state of mind. And I think it is, a lot of it. But the reality of it is, I think that, another reason that we've reduced our client workload is because physically it's just harder. I mean, we're in a very physical industry.
It is.
And it's just harder. And I think, we have to just be realistic about that.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I do. And, our area has grown so much, just to go across town is an hour and a half.
Oh.
And with the yahoos that are on the road these days, even driving takes a lot out of you.
Right.
So it's, again, those two letters, man, no. I'm not going to see you 78 miles away from here for something that I may or may not want.
Right.
So,
no, exactly. We're a lot more selective and we're a lot more intentional.
Right.
Like before, I felt like we were desperate in a way, and now I don't feel like that.
I agree.
Passion over paychecks. Well, this channel, we're in our, our 6th week?
Yeah.
Our 6th week of our channel. And this is definitely a passion project for us. We're not earning anything. I mean, we're hoping to one day get monetized by YouTube, but that's not the reason we're doing it. We just enjoy it and everything. But it's definitely a passion project. And it means that we're learning a lot of new things, which Jim and I like doing.
We love it.
We're lifelong learners. And so there's a lot of new things that we're learning. And it's fun, and it's been challenging for both of us.
So
and we're not fighting.
Right. So with both of us, it's, I mean, we both still have our same hobbies. I love to fish. I love to be out on my boat probably more than anything in the world. But we're not kind of chasing the same old things we were anymore.
Right.
I could go on and on about that. But, to me now, it's all about, I'm not even saying me, to us.
Yeah.
It's about fulfillment.
Right.
It's about our freedom that we have. But more importantly is we love to grow. Yeah. We love to learn new things. We love to, this taking on this channel is a big project. The learning curve is like this. Oh. And Tab is just killing it. Learning everything there is to learn about making this. All I'm doing is putting the production stuff together, but Tab is doing all the heavy lifting, and she's doing a great job.
I
hope you've enjoyed our channel.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's all truth.
Thank you very much. That was really sweet of you to say. All right. So no fear, just feedback.
Yep.
I mean, back in the day, Jim and I would have considered any kind of a failure as a big setback, and we would have maybe looked at ourselves as a bit of losers. And that's not the case. I mean, that's really not the case. I think now we're looking at any failures as a data collection thing, and we've kind of learned that in our careers too, because if we were the type that were going to be defeated by failures, we would have been defeated a long time ago.
Right.
Because I mean, we haven't gone into too much of our careers, but both of us are in the insurance claim industry, and we're fighting for homeowners who have had insurance losses. And so we're fighting hard. And
in our day, and honestly, every single day, it is about winners and losers.
It is.
And it's
and there's sometimes we don't win, and
right.
we fight really hard. And so sometimes we've worked really hard, and not only do we not win, but when we don't win, we don't get paid.
Right.
So it's pretty serious. So I think for us, we've learned over the years, and this is just for us. I'm assuming that there are others of you out there that feel this way too, but we, a few years ago, both of us are Christians, and we just put everything in God's hands.
Yep.
And, we don't worry about it. The phone rings when it's supposed to,
yep.
and it rings with the right client when it's
yep.
supposed to. And we have never had a period of time since we did that and just put it in God's hands that we've really struggled, too much.
Yeah.
Anything that we couldn't handle. So
praise His name.
Yeah. So anyway, we don't feel like that now. And if we do have any setbacks, the way we look at it now is we either tweak it and move forward, or we decide if we even want to move forward with it at all,
right.
and lay it down. Sometimes people stay trying to do things way too long, when if they would have laid it down, they could go and be doing
right.
some other thing that they're much more passionate about.
Neither one of us have ever been afraid to try hard things.
No.
And Lord knows we've done some stuff, man.
We have.
From foreign countries to setting up corporations in foreign countries and getting screwed over by people in foreign countries.
Exactly, and having huge, what we would be
man.
Considered failures. But, failure is just a perspective.
Right, right.
If you didn't die, if it didn't kill you, then you're still here.
Right.
You learned something.
Yeah.
And what can you take away from it? That's what we look at.
Right. So, for us personally, and I hope you feel the same way too, everybody would love to chase perfection, but that's not reality.
No.
There are too many outside forces that will never let you achieve perfection.
Right.
Now, in your eyes, you may think you have.
Yeah.
And that's the most awesome feeling there is.
Yeah.
But if it's not, so what? If you did your best, you can look whoever, your spouse, your client, whoever in the eye and say, I gave you everything I had.
Yeah.
There's no reason to feel bad about that.
Right.
And the one thing that you're doing is you're chasing a purpose.
Right. Well, and we understand, because we're self-employed, that we could sort of dial down our business as we went into the unretired mode. We realize that there's a lot of you that can't do that.
Right.
I mean, you're working full-time. And so it may be like we've gone from full-time work to part-time work, and we've gone to part-time pay too. So we've, and we've shared before, we've downsized. We're still, we've downsized our expenses.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue to do that so that we can remain working part-time and earning part-time. But, and so you're going to have to just look at it, what you can do. And it may be, if you're in a full-time job, you may have to, look at going into something part-time if you want to go, if you can't fully retire or you don't want to.
Right.
And you can go into something part-time. You're just going to have to feel, this, what we're sharing with you today is what Unretired AF looks like for us.
Yeah.
And we want to hear what that looks like for you.
Yeah.
Because we know it's going to be different for everybody. And it's more of an attitude. So anyway.
Definitely.
Well, and so that's part of the takeaway. I mean, the takeaway from today is that, being unretired AF isn't about quitting. It isn't about doing nothing.
No.
And we understand that at a certain age that will come. But that's not what the unretired AF is about. It's about, living life on your own terms, making your life work for you.
Sure. And if you have a passion, like, I love what I do. Yeah. I can see if I'll be doing this until I can't physically do it anymore, because I enjoy it. Yeah. I really enjoy it. So, I guess what I'm saying is if you really love something, you don't have to retire from it. Now, You may retire from the structure of the company that you did or work for, but that doesn't mean you can't do something on your own.
Right.
It never means that.
Right.
And, you know,
in a less structured, more informal way, too.
It's very freeing, and you can freely do whatever you want. I mean, if you're doing something on your own, there are no non-competes or any of that kind of stuff, and we're too old to worry about that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
There's always somebody willing to pay for your experience. Always.
Right.
So we're fortunate that our industry, age doesn't mean anything. In fact, age helps because of all of our life experiences in that. So go for it. Don't let anybody tell you you're too old for anything.
Well, and tell us what you're doing.
Yeah, please do. If you have anything that you'd like to share, if you have something that you too are part of the Unretired AF network, share it in our comments.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear about it.
We'd love to hear your story. And if it's something that you are interested in, we're even considering getting videos from some of our subscribers and who just maybe film a short 1 or 2 minute video about what you're doing.
Right.
And we will include it in the show. We would love to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, if you've enjoyed our episode today, consider hitting that subscribe button so you can get our shows in your feed every day, Monday through Friday. And we're not slowing down.
And neither should you. And together we're Unretired AF.